But
Yeah.
here we go. Again, first to 11. We have the golden point. We have the deuce on deck. And yeah, it's first to 11.
This is where it goes. It's about to go down here.
Oh, almost identical starts as well. Master a little bit better on the all-spin follow-ups, but also a little bit hefty on the misdrops. Still keeping a little bit of that efficiency and finds a mini multiplier in the process.
I was about to say during the button check, obviously, the viewers at home were not able to see it, but Master actually had a pretty significant speed deficit in comparison to TATOES.
Yeah, well, again, if you know you're going up against I don't want to call Master specifically a speed demon because Master is again able to play efficient, but with someone who has that high of a burst speed, you kind of want to come out of the gate swinging and really say, you know what, yes, you may be able to use this as your win condition, but you cannot rely on it.
Yeah, I mean, right now Master's doing a fantastic job of maintaining a pretty solid speed advantage over TATOES. It's nearly 3.7 versus about a 3.4 for TATOES.
But it's pretty slight.
But it's still pretty even.
Considered.
Yeah, it's pretty even across the board. Master's slightly ahead on attack, but that might just be due to the speed.
And we have seen as well plenty of times within Season 2 that, a lot of people anticipated that, just fast speed was going to get you a lot of surge really quickly. But overall, being very meticulous with your surge has been the crowning achievement for a lot of players, really coming out from just being a top player to one of, if not the best. And we can see already there, lets the surge rip there on TATOES, and TATOES grabs that first point. All right, no early eye to start, but I think both of these players are more than happy to continue with stick spin and SDPC spin, all things considered.
Yep, a little bit of a better start. We've been seeing it all the time throughout this tournament.
Oh, but we have a pretty hefty blitz right now out of Master, 4.4 pieces per second, and TATOES does not react to the sudden speed increase. And speaking of 101, we are 1-1 right now between TATOES and Master. Oh, little TKI start there from TATOES as Master going for the SDPC spin. And if you're ever curious on how you can tell which from which compared to stick spin, the spin of the T piece is always the deciding factor. It's a little bit flatter with SDPC spin.
Yeah, it's such a minute difference to the point where it's you have to develop the goals. It is the same goals, but I mean different. It's still kind of a different approach, and depending on who you ask, a different perception.
Well, right now there's a pretty hefty surge advantage for Master.
Look at that spike from Master.
Very well timed. And again, I always like seeing whether players tend to kind of front load or back end the load of the surge damage. And you can see Master just kind of set up that little 12 to 13 line spike and then immediately broke for a single. Combine those extra 15 or so lines into that, and that is way too much garbage.
So I misdrop.
Oh, is that going to be an early top out?
Oh, TATOES has to find a way down. But
Master holds on to surge. Might be
TATOES
trying
gets the
to
down stack. Pretty sizable spike here. Ooh, Master with the misdrops. Ooh, misdrops across the board for this one, but TATOES is going to take it.
Yeah, quite a bit of a slippery start there for Master, but having that surge advantage, again, it might feel like, everything is going well and all the power is in your hands, but if you do not find any way to skim a single line and break that surge, you're going to be, again, just basically hung out to dry. All right, but we have a lot of surge getting built up pretty quickly. Both TATOES and Master speeding up a little bit right out of the gates. A bit closer to 3.8 from both. Master.
Ooh, and look at that. That's a huge multiplier. Wow. Okay, Master.
Very, very nice. And again, I think it was a little bit kind of more like serendipity for a bit of just having that center well and making sure that was not enough for the top out, because it was essentially the cards were definitely in Master's hands the entire time. And it just made it so difficult to try and play around. But sometimes that greed to try and hold on to surge for too long can be deadly, as TATOES just deciding to go all resources in, and that is going to be another round and keep the set even.
TATOES fractal start, sending those immediately. Very aggressive. But Master, look at this back-to-back developing already within the first 15 seconds. And that's a huge multiplier. That's the round. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's
that's
something.
Like, TATOES decided to be TATOES decided to bring like an offense into that, and Master countered it like basically perfectly there. Awkward start with the opener here, but Master finds a way to work around it, maintains that back-to-back. Has to cut it off, unfortunately. And is that going to be Master's downfall here? Oh, no, not quite. Oh my goodness! Picking up the speed here, really overwhelming TATOES at the start. Now we reach the 20. Oh yeah, no, TATOES doesn't have anywhere to place that piece. Master's really taking these rounds very quickly. Like just. I don't think we've seen. I think there's only what, one round that went above like a minute, even. Not even maybe.
Somewhere around there, probably. Not entirely confident, but I'll take your word for it.
It's something like that. These rounds have been pretty short, all things considered, and I mean that's mainly due to Master's aggressive plays here and some pretty.
But this is really high up on the board.
Ooh, but that's a lot of hesitation on Master's board. Ooh, there's a lot of hesitation there. I think Master struggled to kick that day piece up. Really wanted to try and get that over to the left. If he had just managed to do that a little bit sooner, that could have been survival.
And again, like it's always very tempting when you're high up on the board. You want to be careful to avoid all those misdrops. But the more time you give to your opponent, that is going to be more time that you are going to lose out on the damage department, and you're going to have a really bad time trying to claw back all that momentum. And TATOES able to use that, grabs another round, but at the moment, Master has surge advantage, playing a little bit greedy to try and get so much shit over to TATOES, but it's all clean on the run back, that the counter spike, trying desperately to earn those top out, but Master as well is doing incredibly well with this 4.2 pieces per second to counter everything that TATOES is throwing back.
Very aggressive back and forth. Both players have a pretty clean stack, all things considered. Master on the verge of topping out, but finds those spins, continues to down stack all the way back at the bottom, turns the tables around at TATOES. Master,
and we have.
Oh, both players have a clean well here. This is an opportunity for some huge spikes.
This is a prime example of like the elevator gaming that's usually synonymous with just like counter spike only. But there is like so much flying back and forth between TATOES' board and Master's board that like it's just, there's so much garbage that it doesn't have room to like sit on the board for very long. Like it goes up and it goes down.
Like it feels like it's just trading blows. Or it's like constantly catching it's like playing a game of dodgeball and you're constantly throwing at each other, but you're like catching it perfectly and then throwing it back immediately.
Oh, and Master
with a really nice down stack find there. Manages to take this round. That I think was the longest round so far, but you know.
After a round of counter spikes, MASTER101 has the one that is going to be able to solidify the round. This, again, the difference of the set is still stuck at 2, but Master has that fractal, waits it out, gets perfect center well usage, but does have a misdrop, needs to wait for the J piece.
The J piece fixed. Actually, that's in time. Things are looking pretty good here.
I would say, like, it's in time, and Master is definitely in a much better position, but that was definitely one that could have put TATOES on the back foot, and unfortunately had to sacrifice that, but right as I say that, TATOES building really high over the center, and the more greedy you have to play over the center of your stack, the more vulnerable you are to very quick, susceptible spikes. And Master going to continue to try and pull this set away, get a bit of a lead before TATOES is able to grab some more footing.
Will TATOES get the comeback, or will this be another 4-11 that TATOES loses?
Oh, my!
That's the question.
That's a very commanding response. Understands the gravity of the situation and says, I need to get some momentum and fast.
Was that Hachi spin from TATOES?
That was, in fact, Hachi spin from TATOES. We are seeing we are seeing all kinds of openers from many different players in TWC 2025, and I am absolutely ecstatic that we're seeing such a variety from many of our top players.
Have we seen BT yet?
I believe that was, at least out of top players, it's really only Fort that has decided to go for it in certain scenarios. Unfortunately, the Hacha spin does not work out overall for TATOES there. So Master are going to keep that lead at 3. Again, we saw 11-8 within Swiss phase. Master would really love that same difference to continue on in knockout phase, but TATOES does not have the luxury of losing another set. His tournament run will be over if Master emerges victorious.
I'm
a little hesitation there.
Yeah, no, both of these players have to fight with their tournament runs on the line, and Master looks like going to be the one that pulls through more here. TATOES still has an opportunity to catch up, but I mean, that gap is getting wider and wider, and you do not want to lose it, you know? Like, you want to take any opportunity you can get in order to win.
Well, there's a lot of all-spin going back and forth. Master has some catastrophic misdrops, and I believe this is what's going to open the door for TATOES this time around. Not a good way to dig down to the well. Master trying desperately, but is not able to find an option. TATOES keeps the set difference at 3, but Master is knocking on death's door for TATOES, saying, I am only 2 games away.
Yeah, no, TATOES is good at maintaining this back and forth, but maintaining this back and forth means that TATOES will lose the match. TATOES needs to, like, pull another win through very soon.
That's an early surge pop. I do not like that on TATOES' side.
Yeah, that's not the greatest.
Oh, you can see.
Ooh, yeah, and here comes the spike. TATOES manages to get through. There's a nice well waiting for him here. You can't hesitate on those quads and T-spins. You should have just taken them immediately, but I mean, it's hard to think back.
And that grabs around. Oh,
TATOES is starting to close that gap some more. But needs 4 more wins in a row in order to just take this cleanly.
All right, another Hacha spin. I gotta watch that back because that felt like TATOES just had a Hail Mary moment of like, I don't know where the garbage is gonna show up, but I'm gonna have to pray that an eyepiece is there ready to utilize it. And it just so happened to be in the perfect column. And especially given that Master seems to be a little bit more prone to misdrops with the tight pressure, each win that TATOES is able to grab could mean another 1 or 2 additional rounds. Right now, Master seems pretty solid over this center wheel stack. Looking to try and hold on the surge a little bit longer, but TATOES able to keep it. We're back in neutral.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure taken behind on surge.
Master's being very aggressive here. That back-to-back surge is still maintained. Gonna be sending it now. Does TATOES have the room?
That was perfect decision-making from TATOES. Beautifully set that up.
Down stack. Beautifully done. Beautifully executed.
That was such good timing from TATOES. Like, made the greedy setup, knew exactly how much time he would have for that T-spin, and just executed flawlessly to keep that board manageable and to keep in an aggressive stance. Going for broke does cause a misdrop on TATOES' end. It's still going to be trying to dig through it. There's a lot of pressure from Master going for game, but it's not enough. There's so much clean between both of them and just enough eyepieces to keep this volley alive.
Yeah, TATOES has a well ready. That's looking good. Master's board not looking the greatest, but manages to just clear that all. And then misdrops to follow up with it. Ooh,
this is a good spot.
Ooh, this is looking
rough. All of a sudden.
TATOES is getting the advantage, and here we go. Now it's a 1-point difference. Master needs to get these wins as soon as possible if you want safety. TATOES could bring this back around.
This is, I think, 3 straight games from TATOES. Like, this looked to be like Master was starting to close things out, and all of a sudden, within just about 2 minutes, TATOES has immediately brought this back into striking range. And all of a sudden,
that's a huge spike. Does Master have the room for it? No, not quite.
We talked about before, you need some way to pop your surge at a moment's notice. Master went and gambled to build up a lethal spike, and TATOES takes full advantage, and we are now on penultimate deuce. A win here will be match point for either TATOES or Master, regardless of who encounters the next point.
Yeah, you can see Master starting to play a lot more aggressively now, knowing that there's a lot more on the line. Like,
oh, that's greedy.
Kind of had to hard rewire the brain. Yeah, hard rewiring of the brain here.
Oh, TATOES trying to keep a clean transition over to the well, settles for a mini multiplier in the process.
Master's keeping that back-to-back as much as possible. Pops it at a 7, but I don't. But that's not going to be enough.
So much ability, and again, I think TATOES has done a really good job mastering the ability to keep these counter spikes going and keep Master on the back foot, even when Master's the one sending all the garbage. I'm not sure that this is going to be the right play. In fact, TATOES right now is actually outspeeding Master in this game. What is this? I think 19, and really nice time.
That's not looking good. That's not looking too good.
Oh, the Master time.
And all the way back toward the bottom. Can't be misdropping at this point, though. At least it was an eye to skin pretty quickly, but that's still going to be some weight. That's going to be some lost efficiency. That's still going to be less lines that you could have sent. But TATOES,
we are seeing a lot. There's a lack of efficiency right now from both Masters and TATOES. Just both trying desperately to find something.
Both players are slipping up in weird ways, but this may be... Oh, the eye misdrop! That was lethal! Master takes it to match point, but I mean, TATOES can still win a round and send us back to deuce. We are so close to the end here.
All right, stick spin versus SDPC spin. Honestly, like one of the most iconic matchups in all of Tetria when it's gonna go to SDPC spin with Master.
That's gonna be a basically 11-second round there. Master takes it after a very, very close last. Like, oh my goodness.
And you can see in the versus score as well, like Master definitely more of that like offense-oriented play, and it ended up being the difference. But TATOES was getting dangerously close to performing those reversals, made a lot of adaptations to bring things very, very close. And you can definitely see like towards the back end of the set,